You know, I was gonna do one of those quirky 2010s level Let's Play intros from those, like, quirky Let's Play, videos from quirky YouTubers like Markiplier and whatnot, but I'm just gonna start the game. You know my name is Mr. Mind Blastic. I've been thinking, like, 10 minutes of something fun to say, but I just can't. I just can't, so we're just gonna keep it simple. Alright. So the game is named Trick or Treat. I probably should have been playing this on Halloween, but, I'm not waiting 9 months. I'm not waiting 9 months to play this. I'm sorry. I've just been wanting to. All right, let's begin this. The sounds of our steps. Oh wait, let me remove the cursor right there. The sounds of our steps, combined with that of the occasional nocturnal animal, is the only thing we can hear. It's terribly dark in this place. The dense vegetation makes it impossible to see the sky or light from the moon. Our flashlights is the only thing that light up our way. At times like this, one begs to not run out of battery. We walk without knowing what we are really looking for, or better said, for no reason. We are just a group of boys bored with our lives. Well, I mean, the game did not advertise that there will be boys. I saw, like, 2 women. False advertising moment? Trying to create a lasting memory on this night instead of just staying home doing nothing. That is fucking relatable. Today is October 31st, All Hallows Eve, better known as Halloween. Yeah, I probably should have played this on Halloween, but hey. Hey, you know, we'll consider this an early Halloween video. Not just 9 months early. Just 9 months early. 3 young men walk through a dark, but up until walk through a dark. Is that a grammar error right there? The 3 young men walk through a dark, but yeah, that's a grammar error. Fuck. Until now, nothing special forest. Me being one of them. I don't think the original language this game was made in was English. I can already tell. But you know, it's okay. It's okay. That makes it spicier. We're doing it to prove our courage. It's too bad there isn't a girl here to see how brave we are. There's the advertisement I'm talking about. Seeing it like that, one could say this is a meaningless effort. Oh, there's gonna be some girls. I'm positive. I saw a cute, edgy-looking girl with white hair. You know, that piqued my interest. I like my fair share of edgy girls. You know, gothic girls. You know, I'm a big fan of those. Don't judge me. For a moment, I stopped to look at my watch. It's 1:49 a.m. That means we have been walking aimlessly for more than 2 hours now. Just don't die. I'm sure that many people would find a place like this terrifying. But once you get used to it, the fear disappears, making it feel like normal. What makes us afraid of the dark is that we cannot know what hides in it, what lurks in the shadows. But this is clearly an empty darkness. At that moment, I sigh, feeling how tired my legs are. What's the point of being here? Clearly we had already demonstrated what we wanted. That you're fucking brave, or... I mean, you're still a pussy, let's be real here. It would be best to return, I should tell them. I mean, you're gonna have to walk like 2 hours back, right? If you're just going straight. I mean, I don't know what direction they're going. I was about to speak when suddenly the atmosphere in the forest becomes strange. Suddenly a cold chill runs through my body. It was like any other chill, except it was not given away. For no reason, the air's temperature dropped from one second to the other. Oh my god, is that... we got freezing temps. It could be a Hantu, man. Could be a Hantu. If you play Phasmophobia, you will get that reference, by the way. So much so, my breath becomes visible, turning into mist. Basically, the context is in Phasmophobia. When you're playing on Nightmare, you only have 2 evidence, but default you have 3. And Hantus have guaranteed freezing temps, so... yeah, that was a very funny joke, as you can tell. It doesn't end there. The air is now filled with a rotten smell, like a little short from being unbearable. Damn, I didn't know we're in fucking India. I'm South Asian. I would know this. I've never been to India though. Images of worms and flies. Okay, that's not what India smells like. I'm sorry, that's not what India smells like. Images of worms and flies soon appear in my mind, giving me a really unpleasant feeling. We all stop at that moment. What's happening? Axel? Is that one song, The Crazy Frog? I asked, confused, while turning to look at my friends. By the expressions on their faces, it was easy to know that they were just as lost as I was. It was then when, It was then that we heard footsteps nearby that did not come from any of us. We all got dead quiet after that. I don't know if it was out of fear or to check if it was not a mistake, but we stayed motionless like statues without making a noise. Just looking at each other's faces, wondering the same thing. What was happening? Oh, I should probably do some voice acting. Fuck, sorry. What was happening? Well, basically the same fucking voice I just did right there. Whoops. As if I could know. We heard the steps again. They clearly belong to a human, or at least to a large animal. I mean, humans are like, on average, 5'7" males, so I mean, are those considered large animals? They clearly belong to a human, or at least to a large animal, but there is something strange about them. It sounds as if the person walked dragging one foot. Just thinking about it made me shiver. Damn! Why is this happening? It makes no sense. We should have returned home before, but now it's too late to regret it. You know, I probably should give I'll give Axel my voice, and the friend's probably a different voice. I have the feeling that we are being stalked by someone. The strange footsteps stop, but I'm still feeling the presence nearby. I don't know where it is, but I know that it's looking at me. That cursed thing is looking at me. Cursed thing? Damn, don't talk about me like that. My heart is beating anxiously. It's almost as if my body was telling me to get out of there. But strangely, my friends seemed unable to perceive it. Oh my god, I see dead people? And do I have superpowers, man? Oh goddamn son of a bitch. It seems that it's gone. It must have been an animal. Why am I giving him a southern accent? Fuck it. I don't fuck it, why not? Fuck it. So one of them convinced that we were safe. I would have liked to believe that too. We had a sigh of relief, however. Bad luck would soon strike us again. You know, when I found out about this game, like I was like in middle school or high school. That was like 8 years ago. I found it like on the Steam store pages, and I downloaded it, and I have not played it for about 8 years. And now I'm you know, like why the hell not? You know, I have a YouTube channel. You know, may as well record me playing some games. Do the old school 2010 Let's Plays, and yeah, here we are today. You know, it seemed like kind of like a darky theme, like gothic darky theme, which I'm in the mood for right now. It's like 1 a.m. in the fucking morning right now, so hey, you know, perfect timing to play if it is a horror game. Alright, let's go back to the game. Unexpectedly, the forest becomes darker than before in just the blink of an eye. But that wasn't the fault of the forest, but of our flashlights which went out. Of the three, only one, mine was still working. What's going on? What's going on? Did the batteries die? Asked one of them, scared, while they both beat them, desperately as if they were going to revive them. I can't blame them. The idea of walking in the darkness was not pleasant for anyone. But after a few moments, we had no choice but to resign ourselves to that. Once more, the sound of our footsteps is heard. But the silence is different now. We are not quiet because we have nothing to say, but because we are afraid. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out if I'm going insane, if there is some grammar. I know that there was that one grammar issue at the beginning, but maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe I just don't know English myself. We continue walking despite the fear that invades us. Visibility is almost zero, but we have no choice. In theory, we were walking back looking for the exit, but I cannot remember anything of this forest. We could be walking in circles, and I would never notice it until it is too late. I had the thought of it. I just want to get out of Suddenly, my thoughts are silenced. We hear the footsteps of someone or something. It's gonna be one of the women, right? Once more, the three of us become statues, awaiting the presence to go. I hold my breath while feeling my heart beating anxiously. Damn, get away from me! From here, and leave us alone. From me? Yeah, I mean, me. Here, same thing. Unexpectedly, the steps are heard closer. This time, they do not disappear, but rather come at us. I can't stand it. Desperately, I move my flashlight, everywhere looking for the author of those footsteps. Well, I guess you could check them smiling. Hoping for the another Phasmo reference. Phasmophobia reference. Hoping for the light to reveal their identity and erase our fears. Nothing. Is that all there is around here? Just empty air? My anxiety grows with each failed attempt. I refuse to believe that it was a ghost. Suddenly, when I move the flashlight again, I see a silhouette. I could not distinguish what it was, but for a moment the light reveals something. Quickly, I point to the same place only to discover it was gone. I hold my breath anxiously. It was not an illusion. I am sure I was something. Could be a mimic. Another Phasma reference. I was then that it was then that I hear something nearby without even thinking. I aim the light towards the place. What I found leaves us paralyzed with an expression of disbelief on our faces. A pussy. A pussy. I mean, damn, that pussy definitely made some very large footsteps. I mean, it's not a wraith, at least we can confirm that for a fact. It is a white cat with eyes of an intense red which stands before us. Her look is not the friendly... that was another Phasma, by the way. Phasma reference, just gotta clear that up. Her look is not the friendliest, to say something. I mean, what have do frats... I mean, frats? Fuck! Cats typically look friendly. Somehow I get the feeling it's a female cat. I mean, you can check. Literally, if you want. Suddenly, she lets out a thunderous meow that leaves us terrified. It sounded like a lion roaring than a simple cat. Very sus. Very sus. That is very sus. The echo of her meow is heard throughout the forest, making it sound more sinister than it should be. Oh, fuck. Alright, it was then suddenly an inexplicable force hits us three. Oh my god, do we get blood force trauma? Is that what happened? I fall to the ground and little by little my eyelids close. The fatigue becomes unbearable. Oh, no electrolytes. As I say that, I'm going to take a sip of my water. Well, I mean, I don't think tap water has electrolytes, but yeah, fluoride for the teeth and whatnot, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I lose consciousness on the ground of the forest without knowing what was going to happen to me. With me. Interlude before night falls. Do I have to press something? Oh yeah, I do. Okay. Oh, we're in our apartment. It is a day like any other, so normal that it was almost painful. The only special thing that could be said about it is that it's October 31st. All the spirits are outside. Far were the memories when I was a kid and went out with my friends to ask for sweets from house to house. Alright. The fact that he had said sweets instead of candies makes me think right off the bat this game. Well, I mean, it asked me what language to play this game, and English was not the first option. I don't remember what the first option was, but I can tell that this is not not made by like an American, British, or Australian like person or whatnot. Well, I mean, where else speaks English? South Africa, Canada. I'll think about it later. I'm too lazy. Just remembering it made me sigh. I feel nostalgic. Some things were better when I was a child, or at least seems like that. There were some who had good costumes, whether of superheroes or monsters. My friends and I, on the other hand, had to use our imagination. Creativity was our costume, you could say, no matter how funny it could sound. Oh my god, cosplay? Oh my god, I love to cosplay the 31st. I used to be doing it since I was a kid. My mom got me into it. I remember that. I mean, if you think about it, your parents are kind of the ones that get you into cosplay if you celebrate Halloween and whatnot. I remember that my mother was once painted my... Oh, speak of the devil. I remember that my mother once painted red my face. That is a grammar error. And told me, you will be the devil. Damn. That is haram. But it seems only she saw it that way when we went from home to home. Everyone said I was the Tomato Man. Tomato Man, damn, that's one heck of a name to have. But those things didn't matter to me since we always had a good time. If I asked for candy now, even if I had the best costume, I'm sure no one would give me anything. I mean, that's a lie. I mean, I've trick-or-treated when I was in fucking high school once, and they still gave me and my sister candy. My sister was like 18 at the time, I think. Except perhaps a scolding for acting like a child when I am 17 years old. I mean, could be a culture thing too, I don't know. But anyway, I can't stay in the past. I must live in the present no matter how little exciting that might be. Delightful! Back to reality. Step back to reality. Oh! I'm not gonna get copyright claim just for that sentence. We are a group of friends who don't have any plans for today. We are still not old enough to go to the disco. Disco? Disco? I have not heard somebody call a party a disco since I was born. Wow, that was that just caught me off guard. Of all the things so far, just calling it a disco. And I doubt guys as us would have any luck in that environment. So my sister scared me, fuck. The other option would be to go to a party, meet girls, and have fun. That's the most manliest thing I've heard today. Everything perfect. Everything perfect. Everything's perfect. let me fold that. Everything's perfect except that nobody who has invited us, not being popular, has its disadvantages. Oh my god, that means he's gonna get a girlfriend. Since he's not popular, he's a quiet protagonist. Hey, Axel, let's say. Wait, is it what? Can I feel like I should do a Russian or. I can't do a Russian accent. Fuck. Hey, Axel, let's have a couple matches. What do you say? My friend Steven. Well, that is the widest name you could fucking get. Well, I support my usage of the Southern accent then. Wait, are people named Steven in the South though? I haven't met a Steven in the South. You know what? Let me just read the text and I'll figure that out later. My friend Steven called my attention while playing with the game console. The game console, is it a Xbox 360? I'm guessing, since this is like 2000. My game was made in like 2000s, 2013. I mean, Russia Red, I believe that's what the game is called. A fast and quite complicated fighting game for me. Russia Red. I would normally agree to play with them, but for some reason I don't feel in the mood today. I have no desire to play right now. Why the fuck am I using a British accent right now? Fuck. Oh yeah, I could use a British accent. I don't have no desire to play right now. I replied with discouragement. I almost feel bad for doing it. Boring. The AI is no rival for me. Steven said with confidence. That's because you're playing on a normal difficulty. That does not help your argument. I will fill in the grammar mistakes. I don't feel like losing, but if you want, you can challenge Alfred. I said, leading the attention to my other friend. I don't know how to. Okay, I'll give Alfred a British accent. I don't know how to play that. Answered Alfred, doubting for a second. He is sitting behind the PC, but it seems that he isn't doing anything interesting. That's basically me right now, actually. Fuck. Caught me red-handed. The screen only shows a lot of text. Well, this game is interesting. I'll get interesting later. I have faith. It's kind of weak right now, but it'll get interesting later. I have faith. The screen only shows a lot of text. I think he's in Wikipedia. Oh my god! Don't tell your teacher you're using it though. Hey, don't you have something more fun to do? I asked with discouragement, without even thinking about who was reading. Alfred looks at me surprised. The actual problem of society is that people are not interested in discovering their history. That is true. That is very true. I agree with Alfred. He is one of those pseudo-intellectuals, always looking. Why did that make me laugh? Pseudo-intellectuals, always looking for any rare information to appear smarter than others. Damn, that's relatable. When we forget our past mistakes, we are doomed to repeat them. He added later. What are you talking about? This village is small and its story is not interesting at all. Oh, do they live in a village? Like a small town village, I'm guessing? Nothing as outside of the normal has ever happened in it. Alfred laughs mockingly after. I can't do a posh laugh. Your ignorance is worthy of praise. I'm glad I gave him a British accent, though, because that's fitting if he's the intellectual, pseudo-intellectual type. He pauses, filling his chest with pride. The very fact it is a small town is the reason it's full of mysteries. So yeah, small town, not a village, essentially. I don't know the fucking difference. Do you know that 200 years later, 20 years later on this date, a man... Let me redo that. Did you know that 200... fuck, do I just think 220 is 200? Yeah, I mean, that would change a lot of life if we reversed both the numbers for a lot of the things we did. Did you know that 20 years ago, on this date, a man disappeared? My father. So what about it? I asked without being impressed or even interested in the least. Things like that happen all the time in all places. As I thought, you don't know the history despite living in this very place. Alfred said while adjusting his glasses in an arrogant gesture. I was imagining a fucking not a hentai pro. Wait, no, not a hentai pro tag. Just a pro, like a pro tag with the glasses. Like, you get the idea. You guys watch anime, I'm assuming, right? There is a legend behind the disappearance. That is what I was reading. After listening to him, I look at the computer screen with curiosity. It's then that I noticed that it was not Wikipedia, but some other page. Very sus. Very sus. Took a deep breath for a sec. Alright, come on, read this and learn a little. Alfred said, inviting us to read what was on the screen. Both Steve and I moved closer to read it. Town of Abington, Oxfordshire Country, 1994. That sounds very British. But what I'm more concerned about is 1994 still considered Gen Z? I forgot. I don't remember when you're considered a millennial. I think it's like 1993, 1994, right? Well, regardless, I'm still Gen Z. I was born in 2001, but still, I need to find that out one day. I came to this town with only 4,000 inhabitants to support them in an investigation. Truth is that never in my life have I seen something this strange. I won't say your typical detective-ish nonsense that I have seen thousands of strange things in my life. I have seen many crimes, yes. Some difficult to solve. But all of them were human. Even if you don't know how they managed to perpetrate the crime, you know that they are people like anyone else. In this case, I don't think I'm able to say the same thing. Very sus. Is this a phasmophobia moment? Or going on a ghost hunting adventure? The truth is, I just can't understand what happened. I was called for the disappearance of a man named Matthew Graham. Graham? Yeah, I guess Graham Cracker. I mean, that's the American way we say Graham Cracker. I also just say Graham. 23 years. Single. Fucking relatable. The last time he was seen, he was returning home from the Halloween party. He had drank alcohol, but was still sober. Well, most countries, like most Western countries, just most countries in general, besides the Middle East that I can think of, I mean, the age of drinking definitely would be 23, so it's very hard to tell what country it could be, because most legal drinking ages are below 23 in most countries. Or at least that's what witnesses said. Anyway, this is not something which can be explained with a simple drunkenness. He apparently got lost on the way home and decided to enter the forest called Oak Wood. It had rained yesterday, so the ground was wet and muddy, just like my girlfriend last night. I thoroughly regret saying that. We could easily find his traces which were leading deep inside the forest. Apparently he walked for 3 hours before stopping. I say stop, but the truth is we don't know what happened then. The track suddenly ended up in a clearing in the forest. That's all. There was no evidence of struggle, no other trace, or pieces of clothing on the ground. There was no blood, no more footprints, or anything else. The depths of his last footprints and the position they were in indicated... Fuck, okay, but my brain is having a malfunction. The depth of his last footprint and the position they were indicated in that he was still walking on, I'm assuming. At no point he stood still. It was as if he had vaporized in the air, with all his clothes, in the middle of his walk. Obviously, I can't believe such a thing. Definitely not a wraith. Phasmophobia reference. But I can't give another explanation. The only thing I can remember is that near the footprints, I sensed a faint smell of rot. Hold up a sec. Oh yeah, that's literally what we experienced firsthand on the epilogue, the introduction of the game. However, there was no animal corpses nearby. Could be a human corpse. It is ridiculous to think he suddenly started to decay and become earth. I am one with the Mother Nature. In the end, that case was closed in just 3 days. With no evidence of any kind, we couldn't say anything but that he decided to escape from the village. However, while officially there was no more to do, then I couldn't sleep in peace. Wait, what? However, while officially there was no more to do, I could not sleep in peace. Yeah, that was right, yeah. Thinking about what could have happened to him took away my sleep. In my mind, I thought all sorts of theories. Like maybe something was a plan developed by Matthew. But in the end, they all seemed impossible. I decided to investigate more on the issue. I searched the town for similar stories, and to my surprise, I found 4 more. All young men. Young men, that is very sus. Very sus. Is this a succubus moment? Am I gonna encounter a succubus? They're gonna kill me or something? The story was always the same. They walked into the forest alone, disappearing without a trace. Even more curious is that all of them disappeared on the same day. October 31st. Bobby, that is when the spirits are out. Maybe a succubus came on the 31st. Killed like 4 young men or something, I don't know. But there is more. A detail that completely eliminates the possibility that there is a killer or kidnapper behind this. And that is the separation of the years. Roger Bacon. Disappeared in 1924. Mitchell Smith. These are the widest fucking names you can think of. Disappeared in 1867. Damn, near the Civil War time too. Jason Black. Disappeared in 1813. That was a year after the 1812 war. And worst of all, Oswald Taylor. Disappeared in 1707. Wait a sec. I'm wondering if there's anything sus about the years. Well, I mean, 1707 to 1813 is a very big gap. Big gap. So maybe I'm just overthinking it. I'll just go along. It simply couldn't be possible. My curiosity led me to dig deeper. I thought that the answer may be in the past of the forest. It was then when I discovered that what seemed to be a simple and boring forest actually had a great story. And that's when this man died, I'm guessing. Before it was called Oakwood or Oak Forest, the place was called Witchwood. Damn, are we in the fucking medieval era? I think this has got to be a European country of some sort, right? Witch has huge similarities with witch. I mean, there was 2 women, and they both look very gothic witch-like. I mean, blonde-haired women, I always assume, are witches. Well, let me rephrase that, sorry. Sorry, blonde-hair anime women with gothic styles I associate with witches, like Mary from Eve and stuff like that, or like the witch's house, like the blonde hair and stuff like that, yeah, you know? Alright. If you are blonde, I don't think you're a witch. That's not what I mean. I'm very sorry. It was the forest of witches. Apparently more than 4,000 years ago, the people of the village believed witches lived in the woods. That's an American moment. Unfortunately, almost all of the information is already lost. They were stories told in voice, without a properly written record. I just know that with the change of religion to Christianity, people stopped seeing the witches with good eyes and began to hunt them. For more than 400 years ago, well, I mean, Christianity went to Europe around the Roman times, which is like 400. It was like a 400, 400, right? So I would assume. I'm just overthinking it. I'm overthinking it. It's more than 500 years, so it can be any year after, so yeah, it would make sense. Anyway, I still think it's Europe. Anyway, obviously I cannot accept something like that as the answer. It could also be a country colonized by Europe. That is a possibility. I have no other choice than accepting that each one of them escaped from the village, using the legend of the forest to make it look like it was something supernatural. And then he died. And then these 4 men are going to go and die. Is that what's going to happen? Ah, fuck. Interesting story. I didn't know that such a story was hiding in this town. I said honestly surprised. Even if it is a lie, it managed to hold my interest. Wait, there's something more. Wait, there's something more. Alfred said at the same time he scrolls through the comments. We read that what is written there. A couple of comments call our attention. Both of them talked about some creature At the time, they felt a horrible fear for what could happen to them. Well, the two comments share great similarities. I mean, it could be possible that... I mean, that could easily be disproved for other reasonings, but yeah, it was still interesting. But they could have been written by this... Yeah, that's one of the fucking reasonings, bro! There are many others that deny it. Looks like many people went to the forest because of the legend, but couldn't find anything. I thought that you only read these things to look more cool before the girls. But Stephen has a joke. Alfred giggles with a little shame. Oh yes, oh you're posh, oh you're delightful. Partly, yes. He admitted it. That was a secret everybody silently knew. I mean, does seeming smart get attention from women? I don't think so. Wait, no, yeah. I wouldn't know. Well, now we have any activity for tonight? Stephen said at the same time he makes a face overflowing with enthusiasm. What? I asked, completely lost. I thought we were just killing time. I mean, poor time. I hope he can have a quick death. Simple. Let's go to the forest. Stephen replied without hesitation. He seemed really fascinated by the story. Are you insane? Said Alfred, unable to believe what he just heard. You only need to look at his face to know he did not like the idea. Despite everything you heard, you want to go? Of course, it would be the test of courage among us three. Oh my god. Among Us reference before Among Us? Very sus. Stephen full of confidence, perhaps too much. You should relax a bit. Don't tell me you're afraid. Oh no, you damn pussy, man! Alfred, you goddamn pussy! I know. Oh fuck! I know. K-N-O-W know. Why should I be afraid? Answered Alfred. At the same time, he folds his arms, making a false gesture of security. It's more than obvious that you are afraid, Alfred. Almost as much as when you have to talk with a girl. Fucking pussy. And what about you, Axel? Don't tell me you won't come! Excuse me, sorry. Suddenly Stephen asked me at the same time, looking at me mockingly. Don't tell me you want to be the chicken of the group. I hate that tone of voice he used. I will never give you that. I said without... Oh, that's me. Fuck, that's Axel, not fucking Alfred, damn. Two A names that look the same. I said without thinking, showing a confident smile and look. Well, let's not say more. Take your coats, backpacks, flashlights, and some food. We're going to the forest. What do their parents think? Aren't they 17? Stephen said, full of energy. Ah. Oh yeah, we are. Yeah, I didn't fucking. It doesn't matter. We three said in unison as if we were going to have some kind of private party, not really knowing what we were doing or what we were going to find. 2:13 a.m. Oh man, a couple of more minutes till you reach the 3 a.m., which is the haunting hours. I awake completely confused, not knowing how much time had passed. My head hurts like hell, but I can't blame it. Fortunately, the pain goes away quickly as my confusion. Soon I come back to my senses. My flashlight is lying on the ground, shining towards the empty air. I immediately pick it up. It was only my protection against the darkness that surrounds me. Then I remember that Stephen and Alfred were with me. Stephen! Alfred, can you hear me? Without thinking, I screamed their names in the dark while trying to find them with my flashlight, but there is no trace of them. They're gone. Where the hell are they? And what the heck has just happened? I really don't understand anything. Shit, we should have stayed at home. This is not proof of courage. We could be in danger. I have to find them. Is this a save point? 2:19 a.m. Yeah, I'll save right there. Yeah, I'll save right there. I'll be right back. I'll just end this part right here, but you know I'm not disappearing. Alright, BRB gamers!